like is immaterial to me, but I'd like to get it done. One of the ways you could get it done in an inexpensive manner, probably, I'm big on ownership of a project, ownership of a process, ownership of a community. You could commission the high school art teacher and have her pick a couple really talented high school kids. And at worst, they could come up with a design way better than that, right? At best, to instill some of that ownership, you could have them sign waivers and send them up on high lift and let them show you how great they really are. Yeah.
I will tell
You
you,
do great for that one.
when we took Butler Prototype, they have a whole graphic design program with our students, and they do things like vinyl printing. I mean, you've had me. I love Mr. Shu. I worked with Mr. Shu. I'll write you a school check. Great compliment to be a part of that.
I think it's a nice gesture. It gives kids curious for decades to come a reason to look up and say, who was that guy and what did he do, right? And everything that he stands for, everything that he's done in this community is probably stuff that we would like to emulate. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate your consideration. Most importantly, I appreciate what you do for the school.
I think it's also worth noting Mr. Shu doesn't live in bars, and he has put all of his own personal time, energy, and effort into a community he doesn't reside in.
How do we go about institutes?
I don't know. I vote yes to do that.
I don't know. I don't know who you would have from a business perspective that would be capable of putting that up there. I'm certainly willing to do some research and report back on whole businesses. But like I said, I'm finance. I'm not art. I'm not painting. That would probably be the first step, is to find somebody, find the price. I can't imagine that the cost is significant, but if it is, and if Facebook comments are any indication, I don't think it will be hard to raise the money to get it done.
If you have an advertising policy, and Dr. Gross could look for, further into this and maybe explore what options we have.
Athletic directors,
Yeah.
And see what type of material we have to utilize to this.
I don't know that that falls within the ambit of advertising policy.
So as far as putting a name on something, if there was a cost.
Commercial.
Yeah.
I like what you said about it's not just the money, whatever it is. I like the fact that it would be a community project where people felt like also participated in helping, So it would be a neat thing to have the community feel like they actually did that also. So, but yeah, we would need somebody to, it's not a project manager, not a company that would work on that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, we can look into the feasibility.
yeah, I think it's somebody who does that.
Metal signs.
What's that?
The metal
Signs
signs.
from Prototype.
Yeah, it might be a little heavy for that thing. But yeah.
I bet we can even find a local contractor.
No, I'm really think about that. I know a lot of sign companies, but they don't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they designed these when we were up there. It was amazing. They were literally being hired by businesses.
Yeah.
To do the
But you don't want to
design
have just a banner, you want to have something. that's-
No, they can do design, then you do like an offset 3D letter, something that,
Yeah.
offsets if that's,
I think just go over to Michael's over there and get some stencils.
I mean, we
I don't
could
think that's
definitely reach
the
out
way
to
to do it.
Prototype. I mean, when we toured, she said, if you have projects in mind, like, bring them to us.
Yeah.
And then I think we could have
I'll go over
a write
to
up about him,
Yeah.
some sort. So when they say, oh, well, shoebox, what does that mean? The kids in the community can have somewhere to go to read about.
Yeah.
About him and what
Black down on
he
the ground, yeah.
learns.
Yeah, like a placard, like a historical.
Sure.
landmark placard.
Just to kind of
If you
explain
say
what
the
it was.
shoebox, well, they knew to look up his name. I would want to make
Right.
sure that people knew to look to your point, to look up his specific name, so they would about him.
Put his picture in his face, right beside it.
He would hate that.
Yeah,
He once told me a story that when he came to Mars, he was teaching kindergarten or first grade, and he decided he was going to take all the kids sled riding on like their first week of school and the disaster that ensued. And I was like, why doesn't anyone have to take my kids sled riding in school? That'd be great.
I believe it.
The insurance situation in life is a little different back then than it is today. So.
If we ever had, that's what my comment back to the advertising policy, if we had, you're saying there's two sides that are still clear, because that was one of the thoughts, was the press box, let alone the nation has the rights to the the sign right now at the MAC, but those were spaces that were considered, but that's, we can have still space that someone could still
You
come
can
in and
still put
name
that,
that
yeah.
athletic center, you know, for funding, trying to open the funding.
Okay.
This way we have two spots that we could do, one for, so that's like.
And those are just the two sides that I see
That's
driving
nice that
by,
we have the
right? I don't know
spaces.
what the front says, and knowing Shu, I don't think he would want it off the front, right? The
Okay.
front side facing the field, he would feel,
That's a great idea.
he's a little too humble to have the stadium, if you will.
Yeah.
That's what
Right?
I'm saying, so we have that way to still have the ability to do that funding at some point. Okay, yeah, I like the idea for sure.
It's a great idea.
Dr. Chris, do some research.
Yep.
We'll see what we can do.
Thank you so much, Corey.
Yes.
If there's anything that you want me to do legwork wise, let me know.
Hey, thank you.
And then once we get a price, I'm willing to, like I said, do the bulk of the heavy lifting from a fundraising perspective, if you need.
Start with the design and a cost and go from there.
I appreciate the time.
Thanks,
Great, thank you
Corey.
very much.
You want Dr. Grace to check with the tech first?
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think that's
I
a
think
great
you
idea. I like
certainly
that
for the
idea.
design part,
Yeah.
I don't, I don't know if they.
For the graphic.
And they
design.
had a lot of ours in that program when we went.
Yep, we can do
All right.
that. Thank you.
Thanks,
Take care.
Corey.
Thank you, Corey. Moving on to agenda board reports. Mr. Hagan?
Yeah, the March Planet Foundation met on August 8th, and we actually already heard a teacher grant presentation from Mrs. Huggins. She had an idea of some alphabet topics to help with the little kids' English skills and the foundations. She has already ideas how she can use those to help with some of the in classroom. We got her similar ones with numbers last year, and she loved them. They held up very, very well. So she's going to continue to use them. We're very pleased to purchase those on her behalf. We also have several back to school events that will be popping up though as you come to the parent nights. We'll have a table, so make sure you stop by and get the dates for those events. Things will help us raise some money and also have an enjoyable time with kids. September 8th is the college fair at the high school from 6 to 7:30. We will have a booth there describing the foundation scholarships that are available, at least the ones that apply through the foundation. So high school seniors, make sure you stop by there. And also, we will also have a booth at the Apple Fest, which is October 1st.
Thank you, Mr. Hagan. My announcement, we did have a closed session prior to this meeting for personnel and just personnel. We did not have to have one afterwards.
Do not.
So just the one. Moving on to the student council. Someone
Hi.
represent the student council? Wow, you must be getting close to school.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're good.
So just some basic things the student council has been doing. Over the summer, as some may know, we do a Cookies for a Cause event where basically we raise money for, injured veterans. And this summer we were able to raise about $600, donating it to St. John's Specialty Care Center. So that's exciting. We've also been planning a lot due to homecoming. We picked a theme being Hollywood After Dark. We also took a vote, and we decided that we're going to have the event outside this year, again, because more people like that. We're planning more details right now, so stay tuned for that. And finally, this Thursday, we're going to be getting some volunteers together and working the 9th grade orientation, showing some kids around, getting them accustomed to first year of high school. And aside from that, that's pretty much all the big things that we've been up to this summer. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out.
John, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to meet y'all.
Thank you.
Take care.
Moving on to agenda, public comment, agenda items. Does not look like anyone in the room. Does anyone on Zoom wish to have public comment, agenda items at this point? Is there anyone on Zoom that wishes to have the public comment, agenda items? Seeing none, I'm moving on to agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from July 19th?
Sally, so moved.
That's in a second.
I have a first and second for discussion, comments. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? So can I have a motions for personnel on numbers
Megan, so moved.
1 through 19? Have a first and a second. For discussion, comments?
Welcome to all our new hires.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Hagan, did you have a motion?
Yeah, just a few items here I'd like to add to the agenda. First, I'd like to add to approve Ashley Titchworth for a full-time health and physical education teacher to commence at the beginning of the 22-23 school year on completion of required clearances and necessary paperwork at a step 1 master salary, and this is due to the resignation of Mrs. Stash. Associated with employment, the salary of $51,693, taxes of $2,327.91, PESERS of $9,113.48, and benefits of $19,519.54, for a total cost of $82,653.80. All the information.
Just-
Go through all of them?
Yes, please. We might as well do all personnel.
All right. For Ms. Titchworth, we have, like to approve Dave Mayer to be her mentor, for physical health, physical education teacher. Stipend for mentor is $624. Also would like to, pending the necessary paperwork and clearances, approve Justin Karam as a long-term substitute for employee number 2898, beginning August 22nd through January 18th, at a rate of $100 per day, until reaching the 30th consecutive day. We will increase then to $120 per day on the 31st consecutive day for the 22-23 school year. After reaching the 60th consecutive day, they will be retroactively adjusted to the prorate basis per the MAEA bargaining agreement based on annual salary of $40,710.30, which is 90% of the bachelor's. So that's good. 3. Item 4 here. I'd like also to ask for approval for Doug Skelly to our new assistant principal at the high school to be the Title IX coordinator and the homeless liaison for the 2023 school year.
So I have a
Read all
first. Yeah. So I have Mr. Hagan's first, is there a second? So all in favor of putting it onto the agenda, so we can
These
vote?
are in addition to the.
Aye.
Aye.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there's the changes constantly, so otherwise it would have been on the agenda.
Right. So now it's on the agenda, can I have a motion to approve this?
Megan, so moved to approve.
Kevin, second.
Kevin. For discussion, comments? All in favor?
Welcome, Ash.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? That carries. Moving on to the agenda, under finances, I have a motion through 1 through 16.
Kevin, second.
I have a motion and a second. Board discussion, comments? Seeing all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? That carries.
Oh, I had one quick question. I wrote down for closed session, I forgot to ask you, I guess, if you asked, how long will it take textbooks to come in number 10? Like, are they for this year or are they for next year?
These were ordered for this year, however, as we're looking at the post-COVID year, we've got some that are coming in October, some that are coming in November. And when we're reaching out to our reps, they don't have people from the warehouses, they don't have people going in trucks, they don't all of that, yeah.
So what do you do? What did you choose last year's?
Yeah, exactly, and if we have like, for example, our middle schools, if they start with the novel that we have, we're waiting for novels coming, so. And we do have the online piece, that will be.
So they can use like the new books online.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. I read that yesterday. I was like, how long is this?
Yeah, the teachers are already planning to like start with novels, things like that, so they're not far behind. So they'll reference the books like they should be when they get back in with their novels. So they're all planning for that, so it's not gonna be this big surprise.
Yeah, it feels like non-Jordan for 300 years together,
Yeah.
so. Thank you.
Moving on the agenda, there's the programs, we've already covered that. The main agenda under policies, number 1, can I have a first and a second?
Kevin, so moved.
Justin, second.
So I have a first and a second, board discussion, comments?
I'd like to thank the community. We had a couple people respond with some suggestions for this.
Any other board discussion, comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? So that carries. Under buildings and grounds, can I have a motion for numbers 1 and 2?
Megan, so moved.
Anthony, second.
Board discussion, comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
That carries. On the main agenda, under other, numbers 1 through 14. Have a motion?
Kelly, so moved.
And second.
So the first and second, board discussion, comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Moving on to the main agenda, public comment. Is there anyone in the room wish to have public comment? Is there anyone on Zoom wish to have public comment at this point? Is there anyone on Zoom wish to have public comment at this point? Seeing that, is there a representative from MAEA? Is there anyone from MAEA available this evening? Seeing none?
Oh, wait, Aaron Bridge.
Is there anyone from MAEA?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was trying to raise my hand and then unmute myself. Yes, I am here from MAEA representing the union. I do not have any comments to share specifically from the union, though.
Okay, well, thanks for at least stopping and saying hi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Moving on the agenda, administration, Dr. Gross.
Yeah, just a couple of things. First of all, the personnel, as Kevin talked about, we are having lots of changes. So most likely we'll be asking you to look for possibly another meeting that we would establish prior to the next formal meeting in September, because we continue to, we're in good shape, but we still have a few things to tweak. Also, the ESSER grants, you may be reading a lot about the ESSER grants. Mars has it's one grant, but it's $150,588 for physical security. And then there's another $150,588 for mental health, social, emotional type learning. We were working on that as we speak. That's one of the big items. Is due August 31st, so we'll give you some more information on the specifics of those grants as we finalize that work. But for those that may be online and hearing about these grants, we are definitely going to be applying for those grants to enhance our security and also our social emotional learning needs for students. The last thing I want to alert you to, we are going to reconvene the safety committee next week on the health and safety plan. As you know, when I first arrived 2 years ago, districts were required to have a health and safety plan relative to COVID and COVID protocols and how you're going to reopen schools. We created that. Every 6 months, we continue to refine that. Our last meeting that we had was this past April, where we pretty much have stayed status quo. But there's been some changes. On August 11th, the CDC sort of lessened their more restrictive practices that have been in the past. So several things have happened where we're going to reconvene the committee to take a look at what Mars is going to do moving forward for this coming school year. Some of the highlights from CDC, they removed quarantines, required quarantines if you're in close contact. They also removed any references to 6 feet of social distancing. In addition, as this was going on, PDE, we got information from PDE basically saying we are not going to be supplying schools with any more mandates. They've basically taken a lot of those things away and referring us to CDC for recommended guidance. The only thing that PD is going to require moving forward that is a mandate is every Friday, the districts must report positive cases. So with that being said, I just want to inform the board, Dr. McMahon and I will get that health and safety committee together. But I want to say emphatically that this district's administration, very much like when we started with COVID 2 years ago, was to try to forge ahead and be business as usual. My recommendation on behalf of the administration to that committee is going to be totally revert to pre-COVID protocols, which basically means the only thing that we would like to do is only those things that are mandated. So we would report to the state every Friday positive cases. We would discontinue contact tracing. We would also discontinue any type of social distancing requirements. So basically everything would go back to pre-COVID. I'm telling you what our recommendation is in the event the board would want to think differently, or if any community members are on and they want to know that we're meeting and offer their thoughts prior to that. Contact tracing has taken an inordinate amount of time. We talked to our school nurses and our teachers and also our principals. There's lots of valuable time. Now's the time to basically take a look at this. And again, I continue to say go back to pre-COVID protocols, which means if you are ill, we're not going to have anything like LCI or LSI. Basically, if you're ill, you stay home, no problem. We work with you. We make sure assignments are posted. You make it up when you come back. So we'd like to basically, in a nutshell, the summary would be my recommendation to that committee is, unless it's mandated, we just do what we've always done traditionally. The only thing that I would do, if anyone is online listening or concerned about the recommendation to that committee, I do think the district has a duty to at least warn parents that if their child was on a school bus or in a classroom in a building, that there was a positive case. So when I say we won't do contact tracing, we wouldn't do that because CDC is basically saying the 6 feet that we used to use, they're not recognizing it anyway, but what we will promise to parents if it changes would be that we would make notifications that, for example, Centennial, grade 5, there was a positive case, was monitoring each other. It would be a warning to parents that someone may have been close to their child, but they're not going to get into anything other than what's mandated. So hopefully back to normal. I'm just sharing this with you now because it's my recommendation to the committee. Ultimately, that committee will have to discuss our recommendations, either agree, tweak, disagree. So I'd like to come back to the board as soon as possible after that committee, have a special board meeting to review what's being recommended so that can be approved. And again, as we said earlier, we'll probably have some personnel items that we need to clean up too. So more to come on that. I just wanted to get it out there of the vision that the administrative team has for changes to that plan.
Real quick, who's on that committee? What's it made up of?
It's made up of community members, teachers, internal staff,
Couple
board members. So it's a cross section of the community. And again, these are just recommendations at this time, but my personal goal is to get the committee to agree with us to allow us to get back to normal. That's all I have.
That's all. Dr. McMahon.
Today, all K6, all classroom assignments have posted to your schedules. Tomorrow we have our kindergarten orientation that goes from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So 6 to 7 is for AM kindergarten, 7 to 8 is for PM kindergarten. And then the day following, Thursday the 18th, K to 6, we have open building visitation. So from 9 to 3 PM, all of the elementary buildings are open. We strongly encourage parents to bring their driver's license, either to the orientation visit, so we can scan the license. What that does is it puts all the parents into our systems. So if they're coming into an early dismissal, if they don't have their driver's license, we'll already have them in the Raptor system. So they can bring that to the orientation buildings, where they'll be picking up their car cards, which is really important for any kind of car riders. And then they can also bring their driver's license to the open building visitation bay, where each office will have a Raptor system that can scan the license there. It just really helps parents in the long run. And then that, getting ready for kicking off in service and looking at all of our vendors, sharing the resources and how to use these resources that we just purchased, which is going to be assigned from the BLA. And then we'll be moving into exploration of K-1 comprehension piece. We're bringing in foundations into grade 1 this year. However, that is a multi-sensory language tool, but we still are missing that not missing it. We're looking to upgrade our comprehension piece. Currently, we're going to use our reading wonders, but we're looking to upgrade to make a purchase the next school year of a comprehension piece. So we focus on that. In addition, we'll focus this year K-5 science material. This past year for this budget, we brought in grade 6 through 12 science materials. We're bringing in K-5, looking to make a purchase of that in the spring of 23-24 school year. So it will be busy. But it'll be good.
Do you have to scan your license at every building or just one?
Literally, so what we did is we originally been scanning on the Raptor system here, and not all of them were communicating. So I always tell the parents, bring it to the building where you're going to be coming in, and let's put it in that system. It's supposed to work with each system, but there were some glitches in the actual Raptor system. So that's what I'm telling parents, if you have a 3rd grader as well as a 5th grader, bring your driver's license and scan in both buildings, just so that you have no issues and problems.
If you fit in everybody,
I really would.
We had a mom today from the elementary, we had one DC elementary centennial, and she's just making the rounds.
That's me this year.
Yep.
One in every building.
They're
Open
supposed
house
to
is
communicate. The Raptor system is supposed to communicate, but it's technology, and there are glitches in these systems and things like that. So if you want to have, if you're in a rush and you need to have your child pulled out, then you don't have to run back with your driver's license. So yeah, that and the car cards are ultimately really important. So we're giving those out at the open building visitations as well as the competitions.
Under this
Oh, it was great. It was really well. Our Thursday day was, it wasn't as high of a volume, but the kids had a great time. The teachers did a great job. The kids had a great time. I think it was a success. So looking at ESSER monies, we'll be meeting with our committee again, so we'll figure out what we can do with it. However, we have funds. We won't do it this close to the school year, because what we did, and the reason why we held off into the month of August was because we had extended year program running in July, and we wanted to offer those students an additional time to lift up, but we also wanted to give them a little bit of a break. And that was groovy, but it was just a whole lot going on as we're trying to clean rooms and get our buildings ready and bring in inventory and build classes and master schedules. So yeah, we might tweak that schedule a little bit. We'll see on that one. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lindman. Ms. Branstetter?
Nothing, sorry.
Mr. Kasam?
Okay.
I just, honestly, I just want to thank
Uncle Jesse.
our custodians, summer help, our buildings look amazing at the elementary level at least. Centennial looks spotless, so they've worked their tail ends off, so I thank them for that. Orientation night at Centennial is the 31st of August. That'll be 6 to 8. So hopefully you guys can, if you have a little one, which some of you do, you'll be in attendance. And then we're also going to bring back partnership with the Reality Pool this year. COVID kind of crushed that. I know it was really big when we introduced it. We had our 6th grade aligned with it. They would go on special nights. We're going to bring that back. I've been in contact with Norma Norris, and she's been really pushing to get it back. So we're going to try to get it back up and running, and we'll go from there. So look for that announcement.
Are you gonna try and, the kids that missed it the last 2 years, like that?
I'm gonna invite anybody that wants to come.
Yeah.
That we're gonna try to keep it. I can't go back and say by homerooms.
Yeah.
Because that's what we've done in the past. So I'll use current homerooms, and we'll invite anybody else that wants to come. I believe we left, it could hold up to 60 people. But I'll confirm that. I'll make sure that that's in the announcement so people know. And you can sign up online in advance so you can know if there are open spots or not. You won't just show up and be turned down. I'm sure they won't turn you away. So that's it for me, so.
Right. Yeah, I just want to piggyback on what Adam said. The buildings look amazing. I had a parent meeting yesterday, a new parent to the district, just walking around the building, and the mother was a phys ed teacher, and they just moved into the district here. She goes, I've been teaching a long time, and I've never seen a building this clean. She said, and the staff has worked their tails off, and especially around in the elementary, around ESY, around the reading, the summer liftoff program. So Mr. Bob down there and his staff and the summer help and the secretaries and maintenance guys, they deserve a lot of credit for the work that they put in this summer. They did an absolutely tremendous job. And it's sad that this shine will be gone off the floor after 5 minutes. It's coming off the bus. You know, it looks all squeaky clean now, but the kids come in and it's all gone right away. Yeah, but they did a great job with it. Looking forward to building visitation on Dr. Van said on Thursday. This is a sort of event here in the Mars School District. Some new people in the district, like I've never heard of that before. That is really nice you guys do that. So I know some teachers will be there, some won't be, but it'll be very good to see everybody. Parent orientation at the elementary building is August 30th from 5:45 to 7:45. We'll have 2 sessions in there because some of our parents have more than one child there. So we'll hear me talk, and then there'll be about a half-hour session with the teacher. Then if you have another little one, you can go to a different classroom. It'll be the same session the second time around. So we'll be able to do that. And then pictures September 7th. Coming up. Yeah. Just working on the schedule today, get everything into the time and schedule. So
Still give out the free cone?
No. I heard that, no.
Oh, yeah.
I don't need as much of
Yeah, not like I. Yeah.
Good for nice though.
Free cone.
I would have tried to.
Yeah, get off my train. Yeah. That'd be awesome. What I had here.
So in the back pocket, I don't think it's much.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that kind of staff feature.
That's right.
Thank you.
Mr. Schwable, I'll do it. Miss anyone? Perfect.
I forgot one thing. We had orientation, induction for our new staff this week. And I know Dr. McMahon has done this for years and years, and we were sidebarring talking about, wow, what a great day it was. People were just so positive. It was exciting. And Dr. McMahon unprovokingly stated that today. She's like, wow, it's probably one of the most refreshing inductions we've had in a long time. So that just happy with the attitudes and the excitement of the folks that are coming here. They're excited to be at Mars, and we're excited to have them. So it was a great day. Just forgot to mention that.
Okay, great. Board comments?
Start on this side of that side.
You started.
You started, go ahead.
Thank you for bringing the reality show back. I'm super excited that Eddie will be a part of that this year. The PTO is still looking for business sponsors for March for Mars, so if you're interested in doing that, check out the website. Justin, you're giving me a check tonight before we leave.
Thank you. It was supposed to happen last week.
I know. Don't worry, I'll take your news. We'll get money. Thank you to everyone doing all the work to get ready for our kids. I'm excited for them to go and get a little normal in our life, but my baby gets to kindergarten. It's gonna be quiet.
Welcome back to school, everybody. Have a great year. Thank you for everybody who worked tails off and who will work your tails off.
School's almost over there, right?
School's almost over.
Summer's definitely over.
We have to talk about graduation today.
What do you have to talk about this?
Okay, I'm gonna advertise for August 21st, talk about exciting kickoff to school. Just a reminder for everybody, we're gonna see the band, football, cheer, and dance all come together at the MAC, and there'll be food and events and a lot of fun games. So put that on your calendar. It's from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So it's a great kickoff to an exciting school year.
Is it free admission?
Free admission.
Yes.
Thank you. Anyone on this side?
I'm just excited about school starting up again. I'm excited to hear how hard everyone's working with the schools. It's so great. I'm not surprised because everyone here does a great job. I'm excited to have all the teachers and new hires coming on board, and looking forward to a great year. Administrators, everybody working hard. We know it. So appreciate it.
Pretty much said it. Thank you.
Welcome.
Get my notes. Coming.
And online.
Jen, did you have a comment before we zoom out?
No, Sally said it, right?
Sally said it all.
Sally has your notes too.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn. Megan?
Adjourn.
I guess second, Kevin.
It's been a long time.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Enjoy what's left of your summer.
Always that.